Okay, today we're going to take a quick look at the John Deere 410 loader backhoe. We're going to go over it, show you what the controls all do. It's really pretty straightforward. About anyone can learn how to use one of these machines. Okay, so we're going to open the cab up here. And this has a latch here in the back of the door. And so it swings all the way back and locks against that latch there. So now your door is locked in place. And then it has a small half of a door right here. And I have ropes tied onto it so I can tie it back. Okay, first thing you'll see when you open the door up is you have your arrow meter right here. And right here inside on the floor, you have your transmission and hydraulic oil field right here. And that's your dipstick too. So that's where you're going to check your hydraulic and transmission oil. And then right here next to it, this would be your differential lock. And then right down here, under this floor panel, is your battery. That is supposed to be bolted down, but I have the bolts loosened up right now so I can get to the battery when I need to. And there's also supposed to be a panel on the side of the controls right there, but I have that taken off due to some wiring issues we had to fix. Okay, now sitting here in the seat, you have all of the gauges right here, and you have your temperature gauge, your tachometer, which is not working on this machine here, and then you have your fuel gauge here, and this is your light for the gauges, which also does not work. And when I turn the key on, you will notice those lights here. This one here is for the battery, and this one here is oil pressure. And both lights are on because the engine is not running. So we're going to turn that back off. Now, right here, this lever sticking out is your forward and reverse. This is your shuttle. And with this lever, you can go from forward to reverse to neutral and never use the clutch pedal right here. And this clutch is different than what's on your standard foreign tractors, and it is super easy to push, and there's hardly any resistance against it. I mean, you can just, like I said, there's like no resistance at all on it. And so that's a little bit different, but I rarely even use the clutch in this machine because I can just shift from forward to reverse in neutral with the shuttle lever. And then right down here, you'll notice we have two shifter levers. And you got your main shifter here, which is first gear, second, there's third, and then you have fourth. And then you have this lever here, which is low, back here is high, and then here you have top left is park. And you can see the shifting pattern right down on the sticker. And a lot of these older model backhoes had a lever right here that was a parking brake, but this model does not have that. And it has the park on the shifter, which to use it, you have to be in gear on this shifter here, and then it will shift into park there. And now the machine will not move, won't roll, it won't go anywhere when it is in park. So I normally just run this in low, and I only put it in high when I'm heading down the road, because a lot of times it's not worth messing with driving around out here on property, because it's rough enough, it's not worth bouncing around in the machine going faster. And so I rarely get it shifted into high. Then your last two lanes here on your steering column is this here, I believe is what your horn would be, but it is not working. And then right here would be your light switch, which again, that too is not working on this old machine. Now on the models of 410s, I guess the 310s and stuff too, are all about the same. They had a heater if they had a cab like this machine here, and you just have a on-off switch right here for the heater fan. And again, that's disconnected. And I'm actually going to get this all set up and completely rebuilt. It needs a new fan motor because it is worn out and screams like crazy whenever you turn it on. So that's going to be an upcoming video. I'm going to go to the heater and build a box around this. And I want to set up ductwork going around the windows and set defrosters. So I'm probably going to do that here before it gets too cold. And then right here below the heater, you have your 2 brakes. And just like standard tractor, you have a brake for each wheel. And these are a hydraulic brake. And that's one thing this old Backhoe has. It has really good brakes in it. So that's really nice. It's not very safe to be running without brakes. I know I've done it, but it's not a good idea. And then right here below the brake pedals, you have your foot throttle here. And that comes in handy. A lot of machines, construction type machines, they have a deaccelerator pedal. And I've never had a machine with them. I guess they're really common. But this one here is actually a accelerator. And so it's really nice when you want a little bit extra throttle just to hit the pedal. And then right here next to the seat, you have your hand throttle. And this here, of course, is your control for the loader. Pull it back, loader raises. Go forward, loader goes down. And roll it to the right, and the bucket opens and dumps. And roll it to the left, and the bucket rolls back or closes. And so, right down here, this is my camera mount, so ignore that. Right down here, you have your key. And then this button here is your starter. And then if we spin around to the back. Okay, then right here at the back of the machine, you have your controls of the Backhoe. And yes, I know my grips are shot. And that's probably the least of the worries of this whole machine. And you have your 2 lower levers here. These are your outriggers. That's to go down with your left outrigger. Just come back with your right left outrigger. And then this one here is the same for the right outrigger. And then this stick here, you pull this back and the main boom will come back towards you. Push it forward, it'll go away from you. Move it to the left and the whole boom's going to swing to the left. And then to the right, of course, the boom's going to swing to your right. And then this stick here, you pull it back, and then the stick is going to come back towards you. Push it forward, it's going to go away from you. And then move it to your right, and it is going to open the bucket or dump it. And then to your left, it is going to close the bucket, or it's going to roll back shut, however you want to put it. And these are pretty standard Backhoe controls. And they have a little bit of play in them. What annoys me is they will hit the window just about. I mean, I can't put my finger between it. So when your hand's on here, you always have a tendency to hit the windows, which I find annoying. So I think I can rotate these around. I think I can adjust them, which I need to do one of these days. But then you get into, it locks on the outrigger like that. So then when you go to pull back, then you drop one side of your machine because you pull the outrigger. And so that too is another pet peeve of mine with this machine. And if you have a nice day, the window does open and it swings all the way across and it latches here on this latch. And one more thing, you have to make sure the hoe arm is far enough out, otherwise the window will not open. But I'm going to leave the window shut because it's about high of 40 today with the light breeze, so this is pretty cool. So I will probably do another video here at a later date on running the machine and using the backhoe, and give some tips and advice on digging with the backhoe and also using the front end loader. So be sure to subscribe for those videos. They will be coming up. Okay, then back to the outside of the machine. One thing I want to take note on is you have a lock right here to lock the hoe in the up position. And when the hoe arm is pulled all the way back up, this will come between these two blocks here. And you can drop a pin in and it will lock it up. And I have never really used it. When I got this machine, this was broken, and we got it beat back into place and welded up. And it also has a lock right here where you can drop a pin inside that hole. But again, at one point somebody broke it, because as you can see, it is broke off here, and it is the same on the opposite side. So dropping a pin down inside this hole doesn't do any good, because someone else had already broken it. And one more thing I did to the machine after I rebuilt the engine was I put on a block heater right there, and that's a lifesaver. And this old backhoe did not like certain cold weather, and it still doesn't like certain cold weather. And even this morning, I got it started. It was about 30 degrees, and plugged the block heater in about a half hour. It fired right up like a summer day. I got the cord tied up here for right now. So I highly recommend adding in a block heater. They're not really too expensive either. And I'd say it's a worthwhile investment if you want to use this in any kind of cold weather at all. And around here on this side, you can see we have the engine oil dipstick, your oil filter, your oil fill cap here, and then this here would be your fuel filter. And so they're all easy to get to, and it's pretty easy to maintain these old machines. And right back inside here, you can see the air filter canister. And again, once the load is raised up, it's real easy to get to. And you may have noticed my front wheels. These are a Michelin wheel. And I cannot say enough good things about these wheels. They're the best things I ever bought. I got them used, but still have great tread on them. And I highly recommend putting these on the backhoe, because they are so much smoother than your standard tires. Backhoes have a lot of back end weight, as you can guess, and they really get a bad bounce. But these Michelin wheels just completely took that out. Highly recommend putting those on the backhoe. Then we'll go ahead and walk around the side. And I need to wash all the windows. They're pretty dirty. And the bucket I have on this machine here is, I think it's just about 3 feet wide. I think there's a tag on it here someplace. Right here, it has a stamp in it, the serial number, and the cubic foot. And I have another bucket, but the bottom of it is completely torn out. And it needs to be fixed, but I really don't mind using this bucket here. It's always nice to have a little bit higher capacity anyway, and I'm not really doing much for trenches or anything like that, so it works out just fine. Well, I guess it's about going to do it here for this video. There's not really a whole lot more to show on it, and I don't know if you guys want it or not, but I can do a video on using the backhoe and showing the controls more, and proper ways and how to dig. And I could do the same with the loader if you're interested. And if anyone is confused on the shifting, we could go over that too. So if anything that would interest you, leave comments down below, and we will do more videos on this. I guess until then, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below, and I guess I will see you next week.